Thank you very much and good afternoon, everybody. Also, I am very honored and thrilled to be here before you to have some discussions and maybe some of my findings as a director of transport in the ECO regions. Before I started, I will tell you that the ECO region, no doubt, is a very important and geostrategic region. And the potential of the future, whether in the rail, road, transit, is in our regions because these regions connected to Europe, to China, to India, to Russia, and to Southeast Asia. And also this region is the main potential resources, oil and gas and all resources in these regions. So transit, rail is a very important issue, particularly freight transit. Okay, my topic about the financing outlooks, I would like to say very briefly about the challenges. We have the financial challenges, legal challenges, and law and services challenges in transit rail. But here we would like to focus on financial challenges. The key challenges here that mention who will be financing rail project in 2012 is PPP still the most viable alternative to government funding, and types of the rail project most likely to realistically attract funding, making train infrastructure attractive as an asset class willing to make long-term investment in rail project. Regarding the topic who will be financing rail project in 2012, this is, in my view, still there is a risk in the ECO regions. The main risk is legal, regulatory, and governance framework that encourage cross-border investment and mitigate political, legal, and regulatory risk. Many potential investors may fear that cross-border investment are too risky in these regions. We have done several projects, and I will bring to your attentions that we actually open different corridors in our networking in the regions for connecting the North-South corridor and East-West corridor. We already have regular train around 5,400 kilometers from Islamabad to Turkey, and we have also regular train from the Bandar Abbas in Persian Gulf to Almaty and Urumqi ultimately. And we opened another corridor very shortly from the Kazakhstan, from the Uzon, I will show you through the map, and to the Turkmenistan and Iran. And I will tell you regarding the West Asia, the only way for the West Asia is through Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran and the Europe or China or Russia. And the only missing link is 35 kilometers, that this is also under constructions. And the whole Asia is connected to each other. But why I am telling you the very short-term and long-term strategic plan. I mentioned here about the process and rules, about the goods and reliable train, about the flexibility to accommodate ad hoc train paths, about the transport and easy access to information. This is all our objectives that we would like to invest on and we would like to catch. And coordination between several infrastructure management performance schemes and terminals. These are very big gaps now because we have a big land, but there is no freight village and not logistic terminal. Very, very few logistic terminal and freight village. So this the top priority of us that we are focusing on the terminal, but the freight village and logistic. We have very good hinterland like Bendrabas and Chabahar, and also in Turkey and in Pakistan, but we don't have a good logistic center networking. So about the also access to ancillary services, technical harmonization, increasing the productivity of each freight train, coordinated development of harmonized infrastructure, development of interoperability, investments, coordination among various infrastructure managers. This is our objectives, and we have different projects regarding network railway corridors and regarding the services and about the corridor management systems. This is my SWOT analysis that we have a lot of opportunity for the border crossing and for the networking, and also we have the weakness, as I mentioned. The most important weakness is city terminal, logistic park, freight village, and unified rail law. This is more weakness that we should invest on, particularly through appointing consultants and your hiring the technical for our logistic network center. So the first result that I would like to say that who will objectives for our investments is railway project need risk management, and but I will tell you that there is also very, very less study in our regions, ECU regions, because too many offer from the different country given to the countries, particularly regarding the special zone, and because in this special zone there is not need for the visa or no need for the also too many advantages, also no taxes, a lot of advantages, and maybe the investor doesn't know about this issue, but it would be very important to publicize this issue to the whole stakeholder. Railway project need a team buildings. You know that nowadays we should integrate all the process technical in the railway, and we will try to do that in our ECO regions. And we need to more focus on the legal services and financial in Middle East rail networking. I will tell you that this is very important achievements, and it would be because you know that for the rail there is not any conventions nowadays for the transit rail, and these are the big challenges in the world. We have two systems, Russian systems and Western or East system, and this system should be consolidated soon. Okay, is PPP still the most viable alternative to government fundings? Yes, and it would be working now, but you know, the PPP is actually generated for the handling the governmental task to the private sections, and more those countries that actually have this experience have got more achievement, more quality, and those governments that actually rely on the rail is relying on the government have a problem. For example, now European Union also have a problem because of relying the more rail on the governmental side. So it would be very important to For the better recognize the role of the PPPs, we actually focus on governance structure of the rail. In here, I said that it would be good that we should concentrate on the executive board, that is a government body, and managing board, that is a private body that actually receive the consultancy from the advisory group, and on railway and advisory group on terminals. And this is the model that actually coming from these our friends regarding the governance structures that separated and divided the role of the government and the role of the private sections, and how this should be. But gradually, it should be all the monitoring and evaluation should be focused by the government, and all the operational system should be run by the private sections. So, in this view, my second result would be that the PPP would be as alternative to creating Middle East rail governance by using consultancy of advisory group railway and advisory group terminal. The third issue is which type of rail project most likely to realistically attract funding in the Middle East. In my view, our ECU region is a big region and more freight oriented, rather than, for example, the European Union is more passenger oriented. And we actually receive more money through the freight transit. So we should focus more on freight at the first stage, freight container train, and then regional transit logistic train networking is the main issue, and we should solve it with a very integral manner. And the third issue is Middle East rail integration process is a very important issue. So this is actually for the border crossing in the rail, there is two sections. One is technical and one is the business technical conditions. This is the conditional vehicles and infrastructure, and those are related to business, driver and cargo, that we should divide it. And this also shows the differences that how the private section also involved in this matter. So this is the UN Transport Conventions, and this part of the board that is green, this more accepted the conventions, the more binding area. This is the more binding area. This is the European, and this is the Kazakhstan, Russian Federation, and China. And this is more binding area, and then coming to the very less and less binding area means no committed to the convention. And the conventions actually is the way for the integral systems. And this is the whole world that's actually the support for the international infrastructure development and regional integrations, and mostly UNECE, and this is also a SCAP. But the UNECE, all the convention is work under the Inland Transport Committee in the UNECE. That's a very important committee that also both political and technical issues raised from this committee in the Geneva. So for the integration system, there is several processes that should be. Without this process, there's no technical working. So something should be happening through the government, and then the private section and investment also automatically coming. Like a freight trade area, the first step. Second is custom union, and the common market economic union. This, for example, you see, for example, Kazakhstan, Russian Federation and Belarus is custom union, or European Union is custom union. Turkey is a member of the custom union, but inside of ECU region there is not any custom union, and custom union is very important legal framework and step procedure for integration, because the tariff and single window and one stop is the whole issue that will be solved through the custom union and help to the transit. This is the Pan-European Corridor 4. You know that there is 10 corridors in the European that connect to our region, but one corridor is very important, that is Corridor 4, that from Europe coming to the Turkey, and from Turkey coming to the Iran, and then going to the Georgia, and then to the Pakistan, India, and this is the plan by the European Union. And also, this is another route, Istanbul-Batumi road and rail also, that is planned, but this is not yet work, maybe in 2013, but another route from the Turkey through Iran work already, regular train working on this track. And also another very important area, this is the CAREC, this is 10 member countries, Central Asia plus Mongolia and China, 10 countries. These countries have financed by the 6 International Monetary Fund and IMF, World Bank, ADB, and this is the 6th corridor. And we use it this 6th corridor, the 3rd corridor also coming to the Herat, Afghanistan to Iran. Also, we use this corridor for complete our jobs also. So we have the European Union corridor, and we have the CAREC corridor, and we have also our own corridor. This is the main transit freight from the Europe to Belarus, Russian Federation, China. And this is the black train that is goods going and coming, but this is a very far. The most trade actually going through the sea, and maybe 80% of the trade going through the sea, and the very long way, and we can connect it by this way or through this way. This is very small, and we reduce the time and cost through this way. And we do it a lot of corridor, and this corridor implemented soon, because 2 corridor implemented this year. From Bandar Abbas, we demonstrate train to Kazakhstan, and also another corridor we would like to demonstrate next year from Bombay. The goods coming to Bandar Abbas and then go to St. Petersburg, to Russian Federation. And we very soon connect this Dostok in Kazakhstan through the Kazakhstan to Turkmenistan to Iran. And this is another corridor that will be maybe after 3 months will be operated. So, but this, the goods, the exchange of goods only will be happen if very shortly we go through the networking, logistics center networking, because this logistics center networking actually help us for the distribution of goods and for managing the locomotive and empty container, and this is the all possibility for investment and investors in our area. And also this help to the for the very good competitiveness of the Europe to the other regions, and for the Russia, China, India, and to the Central Asia, and actually this activate all the regions, because nowadays India is in the isolated area with very big potential, but there is not rail to Pakistan. Have a rail to Pakistan, but there is not transit to Iran and Europe. Only have a relation with Pakistan and Afghanistan, not to Iran, not to Europe. But through Bombay, they can send very easily to the Bandar Abbas, and then to the Europe or to the Russian federations. But I will tell you that is very soon we are connected also through the sea, the India, to Russian Federation. This is the train that is going from the Bandar Abbas last year. This is the train from Islamabad to Istanbul, and we connected also Bandar Abbas to this train. But in between there is not any logistics center. We should working on the logistics center, and also we should work on the freight village. These two are necessary for the transit of the goods. One for the importing and another for the exporting. And this is the Islamabad Istanbul corridor. That is last year demonstrated in 2010. Now we have a regular train in this corridor, and we actually were looking for the more challenges is this corridor is monitoring system, and we are managing now the management corridor mechanism for this corridor. But this is a high potential here. Hopefully, we would like to hold a business forum for this corridor and to understand what is the challenges or technical issue that the government actually supports this issue. Next month we have the governmental meetings, and after that we go into operation. Okay, this is the global trends in manufacturing and trade. I told about this, but if I would like to add some things, I will tell you that our region also connect international freight and also the continent. We connect easily the Africa, Indian, and Asia to each other. We are more accessible, timely, and with this corridor, hopefully in future, we'll reach to the what the people desire in this corridor. This is about the consignment note. I think you know about that. There is a two system in the region now that also we are focusing with on this issue to reach to the one consolidated legal systems. And this is the origin and destination for the trade, because now this area should be connected to this area. And so, this is a more accessible area. And now, because of the some maybe uncertainty in this area like that, or risky area, the supplier and customer prefer the ships, but the ships is not the preferable route for the trade. This is certainly. And this is the Central Asia Regional Economic Cooperation. This is Corridor 3 that I mentioned that this corridor is financing by the ADB and coming to the Herat, and our region also financially supported this corridor. We are already connected to Herat and then to Tajikistan, to Kyrgyzstan and China. The feasibility of the rail already finished, and we would like to go to negotiate for the fundraising for this corridor. And this is the only standard rail, because there is not any standard rail between China and the Iran. The Central Asia has their own rail, subcontinent have their own rail, and Iran is a standard, China is standard, and the European Union is standard, and the Afghanistan doesn't have any rail, only 70 kilometers on a standard rail. From the Uzbekistan is nothing. So this corridor need to be financed, and we are on the negotiation. And this is also corridor 4 of the ADB that we also use this corridor. So another question is making train infrastructure attractive as an asset class. I told that this is the government. It cannot bear the cost of the old rail, and it would be now it would be very beneficial for the private sector to involve, and the government also appreciate, because this is the rail bring the low pollutions, environmentally, social impact. Everything is appreciated by the government, and the government welcome the role of the private section in this regard, but the management of the private sections is not correctly managed yet, and we would like to make it a good plan for that. So one of the our important issue is to prepare a master plan for this issue, how to involve the private sections in the rail sections in our regions. So this is briefly, I say that this is the main issue that we are focusing on: the rail freight and market consolidation, liberalization, and the fight for survival, the need for railway to provide one-stop shop. Block train is the very good experience, single window also. And all this, we would like to go to the one documentation. All this procedure is still going on in the different projects under our director transport of the ECU regions. And we know also about the new challenges in the world, like urbanizations, that we also consider this, and we would like to. We recommend it for the freight village, for using the urbanizations and for make balancing and involving the whole potential of the one country and for these purposes. And so another thing is strategic development. This also cooperation among the railway is possible with different focuses: production, administration, or sales and distribution. These all should be integrated to each other, so the rail networking will be happen. So this is another strategic development. Facilitation of time schedule and tariff is the main problem nowadays. That we should also we have the schedule time train in our networking. Okay, for long-term investment in rail projects, we are proposing 3 ideas. First idea is the railway financial networking, because this is very important for the business to send the goods through the rail, and this is also good for the investment. And also service and networking, insurance, cargo, any services regarding to the rail, train, transit need to be done through their networking. And third, legal networking, like the consignment note or any document or one document that we are looking for in the future. So 3 strategic and long-term investment we are looking for the consultancy in this purpose. And this is nowadays this existed networking regarding the services. The hub in the services networking in the London and New York, and also Hong Kong, Tokyo. This is the services networking that existed. If our country would like to develop, they should also develop networking or join to the networking, but they should develop their own networking for the services. Then the cargo actually go with the one packages through the whole, or one standard through the whole regions. And this is also financial networking that already existed between, about this, that the financial existed between New York, London, Tokyo, that we should also we should join it through this networking. But we have a good potential with China, with India, and I think this would be also win-win negotiation with China and India to be as a partnership for the issue for the transit and transit freight rail networking. And this is the legal networking that existed. Here Moscow, London, New York have a very big role in the legal railway networking. Without the satisfaction of this country, it is not possible or very difficult to make a networking, but it would be possible to have common contracts as a temporary basis for the running the transit. So if you would like to run the transit, we prepare ourselves for the networking, legal networking among ourselves, and we have the now joint workshop with the UNEC and our members for the consolidations of the legal system in our area, and the workshop will be held in Istanbul in June 2012. And this is the blockchain that existed. I don't want to say that is, but this is very far, 15 days, 8,400 kilometers, and this is not, very far, but we can do it very easily through this way and through different countries, and with acceptable, not long times, and we all actually do it feasibility study, and everything's say that our route is more reliable and accessible and safe route. And this is the European Union from the Rotterdam to Afghanistan by rail, and also ADB supported these projects. And this is the two system of the legal system. And this is the challenges, political challenges the European Union normally influence on the UN sections. This is because now the UN also would like to make an inclusive system, but the European Union also do some influence. This is the UN, from the UN, I got it from the UN. So the UN proposed three modalities for the legal system. One from convention on the rail that is not existed yet, and second, the harmonization of the frontier control for transit. There is an Annex 9 that almost all countries appreciated this, and the third issue that already the negotiation going on, negotiation for the unified rail law. This is in the UN. We participate in this very activity. Okay, thank you very much. I would like to take this opportunity and now say that if any questions, because I am ready for answer, and this may be more fruitful question and answer. Thank you very much.